Last night was a mistake. It will never happen again. I cheated on Harry last night.
I love you. It's Dominic, right?
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon the ABC television series known as Mistresses. I'm going to talk about episode 2 titled The Morning After. And without any further ado, let's go and get to it, shall we? And just so you guys know, major spoilers will be in this review, so if you don't like spoilers, go ahead and click ahead and skip the next few minutes of this video to my review. That way it won't be spoiled. But otherwise, if you don't mind spoilers, go ahead and keep watching. So pretty much we have going on in episode 2 titled The Morning After for ABC's series known as Mistresses is we have, if you watch the pilot, you'll know that we pretty much have, these 4 females that are cheating on people and, dealing with, their husband's death. We have a therapist character. And, if you watch the pilot, you know all the drama that's going on. Well, episode 2 pretty much picks up with, the after events of what actually happened. In the previous episode, we have, I forget the girls' names, but one of the girls cheated on her husband with a co-worker of hers, and in this episode, the main judge, she confronts him and says, hey, that was a one-night fling. It's not going to happen again. She pretty much says, I love my husband, and I'm trying to make it right with him. We find out in this episode that that her husband is still able to have kids, though he has an abnormal sperm count. The sperm and semen in him is still allowing him to have kids with what's left of it. So, but, like I said, major spoilers coming up. They decide at the end of this episode that, she's not ready to have kids. She decides, hey, she pretty much says, hey, I thought I was ready to have kids, but, it's just kids might take up too much of my time, and we've already had, way too much of our time taken up with the arguments and the drama that we've already been in. So she explains it to him, and they settle it, and they're on good terms now. Pretty much, of course, he does not know that she cheated on him with a coworker and that whole thing. And then we have other things going on, such as, the therapist character, cheated on, with the husband. Of course, she's not married, but he was, so he cheated on her, that whole thing. So in this episode, the father's son was started to become attracted to the therapist, and the therapist in this episode was asking her friends, she was like, hey, what should I do? Should I keep leading him on, or should I be upfront and tell him? Well, towards the end of this episode, she decides to, to tell him up front, and it doesn't have the best, reactions. He walks off all mad, and that's pretty much where that, little story arc ends. And then we also have one of the other girl characters, like, in these kind of, series where there's several people cheating on people, there's always a lot of, underlining subplots. So sorry if my explanation is a little confusing, because I might get a little confused while I'm talking about it. I'll do my best to explain it, though. And then one of our other girls just found out that her dead husband had been cheating on her for a while now. When he would go off on work trips and stuff, supposedly he would cheat on a girl, with a receptionist at a hotel. Well, she had just found this out in the last episode. And they had a son, that she had never even known about having a son. So we have that going on. And in this episode, the main judge, of this episode is they're trying to find out, if this girl is just trying to blackmail her and get money from her, or if maybe her dead husband actually did cheat and maybe that is really her son and she just hasn't had an idea, had no idea for 3 years now. She's been in the blue about it. And that's pretty much the main judge. We also have, that our main lawyer girl character, they're becoming a little suspicious of the therapist character, and you can already see where the series is going to build up. Of course, everyone's going to find out. Once everyone does find out who's cheating on Hugh, excuse me for my stuttering. Once everyone does find out who is actually cheating on who, the drama is just going to fully erupt. And that's pretty much the main gist of episode 2, titled The Morning After, for the ABC television series known as Mistresses. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on episode 2 of Mistresses, I really enjoyed this episode. The best thing about this series is just the drama that goes on between each character, and it's just really interesting, and I guess you can say spicy, the way things turn out, with each person cheating on who, and, the person not knowing. It's just really interesting watching these events play out in the way that they do. It's the characters that I'm starting to like a lot is, of course, like I mentioned in my first review, the therapist character. I really like her character. She's pretty cool. And then the lawyer's husband, I really like her. She's pretty cool. And then I forget his name, but the lawyer's husband, I just like, I'm pretty sure he's a British guy because he has a British accent in the show. But the British guy, he just seems like a really cool character. I like him a lot. And then, Dominique, the coworker. It's kind of odd that those are my two favorite characters. It's unintentional because, those two characters have had sex with the same woman. And it's kind of weird that, that those are my two favorite characters because, little do they know that they are involved with the same woman. And like I said, the best thing about this show is just the drama that goes on between each character and just the relationships that goes on, and each character trying to make dues with another character. And I can't wait to see where the series is going to go. Of course, the way these series always go is everyone's going to find out. Once everyone does find out who's cheating on who, the drama is going to erupt. And I can't wait till that moment erupts. I really like the scenes with Dominique in this episode where Dominique says, he says, I can respect that, and I like the scenes also with the lawyer's husband, when he says, hey, we can keep trying, and of course, she still hasn't told him what's going on. And the best thing about this show, like I said, is the drama that goes on in between each character. And overall, I'm really enjoying the series as a whole. No, it's not an amazing series, but I am really liking it, and I can probably tell as time goes on, I'll probably become attached to each character as a whole. Anyways, that's pretty much my thoughts and opinions on ABC's television series known as Mistresses for episode 2, titled The Morning After. Once again, as always, Mistresses comes on every Monday night on ABC, the channel, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock for everyone else. Next week's episode is episode 3, titled Breaking and Entering. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.